Welcome to my channel. This time I have the SCT sampler kit reveal for you, and the SCT kit is put out by the Scrapbook and Cards Today company, and like the name implies, it is a sample of products from various manufacturers, and you get partial packages of various embellishments, pattern papers, etc. And SCT always provides a word embellishment that goes with their theme word for the month. So this month we got an acrylic hooray word. Now I go through, and on the back of our card is a list of products from the different companies. Now it turns out there was an error in the printing of this card this month. So even though these first few products are by Close to My Heart, I thought the entirety of the rest of the kit was by American Crafts, but it turns out that a portion of the pattern paper was also by Close to My Heart. So we'll get to those in just a moment. So those first few embellishments, some clear overlays and some puffy stickers, were Close to My Heart. And this next bit of products are from American Crafts, and we've got some Amy Tangerine supplies. Now this is a whole stamp set. Often this kit will come with some kind of larger reusable item, and this time it was a stamp set. These pieces are actually glittery. I don't know that it's picking up on the camera as well. And then we have a partial package of die cut embellishments. And this one is a little tear apart sheet that comes with the kit. And then again, there was an error on here, and these little puffy stickers were listed as shaker stickers, so that's why I kind of paused there, and I'm looking at things trying to figure out what's going on. But when the website will always send you a link of the embellishments, and it was actually listed as these little mini puffy stickers. So this printout just had an error on it. So moving on to the pattern papers, we always get 6x6 sheets of pattern paper, and there's usually about 12 pieces of pattern paper, and often 6 are from one manufacturer and 6 are from the other. And here I did, like I said, I made a mistake and I thought they were all from the same collection, but it turns out these first 6 products here, and I'm showing you the front and back, these are all by American Crafts, and I believe that's the Amy Tangerine collection, and I will definitely post links to these products in the show notes if you would like to go and find them, and there will be a link to how to subscribe to these kits. They're wonderful kits. They're great value. They're great for beginners, for seasoned people who want a little taste of samples. And so here with that grid paper starts the collection for the Close to My Heart products. And I was kind of surprised because these colors didn't seem, especially that really bold print, they didn't seem to go together. So when I was looking at these, I did feel a little surprised that these were in the same collection, but that's because I was wrong. So there you go. I did enjoy a lot of these prints in this pattern paper, so I'm curious to see what I will come up with. Now, I do always do some kind of little project after I do a reveal video, so we'll take a whole look at this kit and then we'll take a look at a project. Now, often for a project, I will usually do a scrapbook layout or a greeting card, but I wanted to do something different this time around, so I designed this SVG cut file, which is a freebie if you find the link in the show notes, and I'm going to make a piece of home decor to put a photo of my daughter who is graduated from high school this year, and their ceremony is actually coming up because we are managing to do a very small in-person ceremony. So I am going through all these sheets of pattern paper and deciding which colors to use, and I'm going to have this circular frame, and so I pick out 4 sheets of pattern paper, and because these are 6x6 pieces of paper, I knew the frame had to be divided into 4 pieces. And so I cut this circular frame by centering up my circle design on my Cricut mat, and then I'm just going to piece it back together, and I will do that by cutting out just a plain white sheet. Now, don't forget to save those extra pieces because you can use those for other projects. So here I am getting all of the floral and leaf embellishments going on. Now my SVG file only includes one of each flower shape, so in the Cricut software I just duplicated the flower and resized it a couple of times so that I would have at least 3 layers to each of my flowers. And that gives me a nice amount of layers to add enough dimension for my flowers. Now this little peak here at the mat is a multicolored sheet that I am using the software to kind of do my best to get the leaves lined up with that paper so that I can get mostly green. Now I do have a couple of red leaves there that I think I was going to put to use, but in the end I end up ditching them. And now I'm pulling out other embellishments from this kit and the stamp set to add a lot of texture and dimension. Now here's that white piece I talked about being the base for my project. And this is going to be a little wreath that I'm going to hang up on my wall, like I said, with a photo inside of it. So I am just setting up a frame. Now for these flowers, I am going to use this flower shaping tool that is made by McGill. Now I've had this for years and years, but they are still available on Amazon, and I did provide the link for you below just for your reference. I'm using one of the actual flowers from the stamp set to act as a center of my paper flowers, so that gives me more use out of that stamp set. Now here I go with these flower shapers, and I work from the back sides of the flowers. Now it's up to you what shape you want your flowers to be. I wanted my flowers petals to curl backwards. Now I'm going to slow the video down here a little bit. This is actually in real time, and you can see as you rub the back of each flower petal, it starts to lift and curl up. Now you could try holding this flower in place, but I find that if you just let it flow naturally, it actually gives you a better shape. And then once you have each petal curled, you flip it over and just press down in the center, and that actually gives the petals more room to pop backwards. So when you layer these up, you get more of a three-dimensional flower. I continue working on the flowers. I will use smaller styluses for smaller petals and larger styluses for larger petals. Now this flower is kind of a star shape, and I will slow you down here in just a minute so that you can see the difference in how I shape these ones instead. With the other flower petal shapes, I went more in a circular motion, and with these pointy flower petal shapes, I am just drawing a line back and forth, and that causes the tip of the flower petal to curl up. So this flower is more like, say, a daisy or even a sunflower kind of shape, as opposed to the round petaled flowers. All right, and from here, it's just a matter of assembling everything, and I just use glue dots. I find them very easy to work with, so I use that. I'm putting all my flowers together, and then I'm going to come up with some kind of pleasing arrangement on my wreath. And I know that I want that floral pattern paper to be the opposite corner of my wreath to kind of help balance out the busyness in the bottom with a little bit of busyness up in the top, and that's just a design balance. And you'll see later as I come back to this project that I find that the balance isn't quite enough, and I add in some more things. So here I am working on just some bits and pieces of embellishment, some words, that little camera die cut, and then I bring in some stamping, and this ends up saying hello big day, which is going to be appropriate for graduation. So here I am with trying to balance out those corners a bit more, and what I've done is I stamped some leafy bits on this leftover green piece of paper to pull green up from the bottom into the top, and I kind of let them dangle over the edge of a word backing and fussy cut them out so that you see here I get some more dimension out of that. And because the paper was a scratch piece, I cut out an extra piece, and I'm just going to glue some layers together. And here it is all put together, and I decided there's still not quite enough balance. I wanted to pull some black from the bottom corner up into the top a little bit more, and a little bit more color from the bottom. So I use a blank stamping on this pink piece and punch it out and add it in there, and then I feel like the project is complete. So here's a couple close-up looks at this one. I hope you enjoyed the video this time, and I hope you join me next time. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, and if you'd like to see my future videos, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you for joining me.